Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is a short movie review of a movie I just watched on Amazon Prime called Paterson. If you've seen it, it's actually a pretty decent watch. I'm going to give a quick summary of it and my opinion for what it's worth. Paterson was one of the movies that is a little bit esoteric. It's got a handful of characters. It was very well acted, had a good storyline, good plot. It was intriguing, and it left a lot unanswered, which was both good and bad. Why is it good and bad? Because there's certain things that are better left to the imagination and certain things that aren't. There are some loose ends, so to speak, that need to be tied up for a good movie to reach some kind of climax or conclusion that is satisfying. So, in this movie, Paterson's a bus driver. He drives a public transportation bus, and he's married, lives with his wife, and they have a dog. His wife is a stay-at-home person, and she is an artist and exploring a foray into baking as a possible profession. And there are a lot of details like this that don't seem related to the central plot, whatever that is. There are some recurring features of the plot, such as twins that keep appearing no less than 6 or 7 times throughout the movie in a seemingly meaningful way, but it's never really connected to a meaningful statement about the twins. So it leaves the viewer to interpret the meaning, if any. So Paterson is a poet. He's a writer and a poet, and he meets quite a few people throughout the movie, and the cinematography revolves around his interactions with these people and his writing, and what is apparently an unintentional quest for fulfillment and a better life for himself. That's my interpretation. I'm going to spoil the ending, so there's a spoiler alert here. You can pause the video if you don't want to hear about the end of the movie. I'm going to complain about the ending. At various points in the movie, Paterson is confronted by possible choices whereby he must make a decision as to what he wants to do. He has a few options. He meets a young girl at one point who is also a poet, and she reads him a poem, and then he never sees her again. So instead of perhaps connecting with this person, he chooses not to. He discloses the encounter with his wife, who is visibly affected by it. And this seems to be kind of a turning point for them, but not in a terrible or negative way. More like there's a quiet revelation happening in his wife's mind. Something meaningful has happened at that point. But they do not tell you what that is in the movie. So there are a lot of seemingly random details and scenes that are beautiful and well acted, and again do not seem to connect to a central idea, but create kind of an impression, a tone, which is a bit somber and repetitive at times, but not unpleasing. And the complaint I have about the ending was that there's a couple of them actually. One is that it didn't really explain anything. It didn't reach a conclusion, but Paterson did seem to find some kind of option that was going to work for him, but the movie ends at that point, so you don't know what he does afterwards. He meets a Japanese man who is a poet, and they discuss poetry on a park bench apparently, and agree to meet there again the following day, which to me says that he is exploring a relationship with this man at that point. And, I'm not going to make any comments about the fact that he's married or the fact that the person he meets is also a male. But I will say that the ending of the movie was disappointing for me personally. It was not the direction I wanted him to go in. I thought that he should have possibly connected with the family of the girl that he met, who was a poet, and explored a possible working friendship with them to see if there was any opportunity there for him to branch out and connect with people and be happier that way. That didn't happen in this movie, but maybe in some version it did that I never saw. Anyway, I give Paterson a 3 out of 6 stars, 3 out of 6 thumbs up, if you will. It's worth watching, but if you got something better, I wouldn't hold your breath for it. Have a great day. If you have comments or questions, reach out to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.